Hi guys, today is Christmas Eve, which is very exciting. So there was nothing else we could paint but Christmas stockings all hung up in a row. So grab your paints and let's get started. Right then, so you might notice the slightly different setup. I've managed to sort of put my palette in two separate pieces. We've been working really hard on getting a little bit more zoomed in for you guys because we take your comments on board and we want to make sure that this is the best possible painting experience for you. So this is a little experiment to make sure that you can see the colours but also see the page really nice and close. So we are going to paint some really nice simple Christmas stockings. I know I've painted one in my Christmas favourites so far, but this is a gorgeous little illustration that I just think sums up the anticipation and excitement of Christmas Eve. And I also want to show you a really cool, simple technique of painting the perfect Christmas stocking shape. So I have been just getting the full length of my bristles in this palette here in the Alizarin Crimson, really nice and translucent. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the full length of the bristles and then round it off like that. Now I know we've got some dry brush there, but I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty good stocking shape. So that was just done by angling the brush low to the page, swiping it down and coming off and rounding it off. And all we need to do now, with a little bit of water, whilst it's still wet, with as few brush strokes as possible, we can just tidy up our shape, and that's really nice. So I'm going to do 3 stockings, and I'm going to have one as a sort of orangey, maybe a slightly more blush orange, so I'll add in a little bit of maybe the Alizarin Crimson, that'd be nice, into my orange, and have a blush stocking. So let's try again. Nice, clean, wet brush. Round that shape. And then to finish off, we're going to come across the top here, and I'm going to get some Sap Green mixed in, woken up there, and I want to have a slightly bluey green stocking, so I'm just going to mix that in with a little bit of Prussian Blue, which is just off camera. I always have to have a think about what is most important for you guys to see, and today the mixing is a fairly simple process, so it felt like we could focus more on the page for you guys. I must say it's just been the most amazing. We've been doing this channel 7 months now. We started in the first UK lockdown when it looked like all my watercolour classes in person were not going to be able to happen, and I have just loved every minute of doing the YouTube channel for you, so thank you. And I just love your comments, they're absolutely brilliant because you're teaching me things just as much as I'm teaching you, so thank you. Okay, just finish that off and round that stocking. Lovely. Okay, so we're just going to allow these to dry, and then we're going to do some nice detail on top of them. Our stockings are now dry, really nice, and now we can add some detail to them. So I'm going to begin with the stocking over here, and I'm going to pick up a bit more concentrated bluey green to add some detail. And I'm just going to do some really simple fun things because the style of this illustration is almost quite sort of childish in its tone, which I love. So we're just doing a little toe and heel extra bit of colour, and I think there's something so nice about painting in the same but more concentrated colour that you've just painted in. do a band over the top as well. Yeah, so as I was saying, the YouTube channel's been amazing, and it's been something lovely that Ant, my husband, who edits these videos and he films them as well, it's been so nice to do something together, like really cool. And doing these videos gave us the confidence to also start a Patreon, which I know some of you are members of. Okay, and now I'm just going to write really simply, joy. Again, quite sort of childish. I really like that. And I think that's really nice and simple for that one. Yes, so some of you guys are members of our Patreon, and I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to tell you about sort of the kind of content we do, because at the moment we do lots of fun like illustration stuff on here, and we do botanical flowers and things, but I know some of you are keen to learn more sort of landscapes and house painting, all that kind of thing. We go into a lot more detail on my Patreon, so you can find that as a link below in the episode notes. Okay, this one's just going to be simple and stripy. So I'm going to actually use my larger brush here. I've got a size 2. And I'm going to pick up again some slightly more concentrated colour that we did the stocking in. I'm just going to do really simple stripes. They're a bit wobbly. Again, I just think it's the sort of the charm of doing something a bit simple. And the big news for 2021 is we're starting live stream classes on Patreon. So we will choose a subject once a month and we will all paint together. So that is really cool, because right now I'm just not sure when we're going to be back all in a room together, but for now I'm so thrilled to have the options to film. Okay, that's a fun little sock. And then for this one we're going to do a nice simplified snowflake design, because I just loved painting the snowflakes with you guys the other week. I'm still painting them. I'm obsessed personally. So I'm just getting some really concentrated Alizarin Crimson. To start off, I'm going to do some stripes at the top of the sock. So again, we're just using this very sort of naive style, which has a real charm to it, using the colour that we've already painted the stocking in. Give ourselves a simple little heel and a simple little toe. And now, whoops, I'm going to do a nice big snowflake. So using the same structure that we were using in our snowflake lesson. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do a little circle at the top of each one. Do a little line in between. I also want to thank you guys for your support, buying my book New Botanical Painting. It's just been an amazing year, and you have really been responsible for that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I actually wrote a book about a year and a half ago. It came out, and it's all about flower painting and goes into lots of details. So links again also in the notes below. Okay, we've got 3 lovely stockings, but now what are they hanging from? Well, I am going to paint in a lovely simple branch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this palette round so we can get access to the brown paint, and I'm just going to mix a little water. Get a little bit of the black too. And I'm going to paint a fairly wonky and wobbly branch. Across the top. And that's really nice. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this background, and I'm going to use some of that bluey green that I was using earlier, and we're just going to add a few little sprigs of spruce, really simply. I'll just turn the page round so I don't mess it up. Because it's all still wet, it's blending really nicely. Okay, that's really cool. And to finish off, we just need to hook our stockings up to the branch. So again, just so I don't get my hand stuck in the paint, I'm just going to begin by doing a little loop that just comes up and just kisses the branch, because we're inevitably going to get a little bit of blend whilst we do it, whilst it's still a little wet. A little bit of Alizarin Crimson, and I'm just going to allow this to dry, and then we'll finish off those loops. This is all dry now, so the last little bit, small brush, and we'll just do a little loop over the top. So make sure your paint is quite concentrated to do this one. This one looks like it's curving that way anyway, so there we go. 3 stockings waiting for Father Christmas. Thank you so much for watching. That is the last of our festive watercolour painting projects for this year. You can always go back and have a look at the amazing month of projects we have done. So I want to say a big welcome to all the new subscribers we've had, particularly over the past month, and a big thank you to all my patrons for your support, because your support enables me to keep creating these videos that everyone can enjoy. And if you enjoyed it, then hit the like button and comment below to let me know how you're getting on. And of course, if you subscribe, then you'll never miss another video. So all that's left for me to say is Merry Christmas, and we'll see you again next time.